Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Purnam Ada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Om Purnam Ada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnat Purnamudachyate Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ishvashamidam sarvam Chatkinja Jagatyam Jagat Shavashamidam sarvam Chatkinja Jagatyam Jagat Tena taktena bunjitaha Magvitaha kashasvidanam Tena taktena bunjitaha Magvitaha kashasvidanam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Kurvani vaha karmani Jiva chek chatam samaha Evam tvayi nanyate tosti na karma lipyate nahare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Asurya namate loka andena tamasavritaha Tamste pritya bigachanti yeke chatmahano janaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Anejare kamana sojaviyo Nena Devama Purvam Purvamasat Taddavato Jnana Teti Tistat Tasmin Apamarta Visvadadati Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tadijati Tadijati Tadure Tadvantike Tadijati Tadijati Tadure Tadvantike Tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasya sabhayataha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani eva nupasyati Sarvabhutesu chatmanam tattva na vijugupsate Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yasmin sarvani bhutani admeva bhut vijanataha Tatra ko mahakaha sukha ekatvam anupasyataha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Saprayagachu kamakayam avrinam asnavidam sudam apapavidam Saprayagachu kamakayam avrinam asnavidam sudam apapavidam Kavir manisi paribu swayambhu yatatat yatoritan vidadadach chasvatipyaha samabhyaha Kavir manisi paribu swayambhu yatatat yatoritan vyadadaj shasvatipyaha samabhyaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Andam tamaha pravishyanti ye vidyam upasyate Tato bhuya ivate tamo yayu vidyayam rataha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anya devahur sambhavat, anya dahura vidyaya, anya dahur, I'm sorry, anya devahur vidyaya, anya dahura vidyaya. Iti susrumadiranam, yenastad vichakshire. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vidyam cha yastad vedo mayam saha avidyaya miritum tidva vidyayam ritam astute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Andam tamaha pavishanti, yesham bhutim upasyate, tatobu andam pavishanti, yesham bhutim upasyate, tatobu yaiva te tamo, yayud sambhutam rataha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anya devahur sambhavat, Anya devahur sambhavat, Anya dahur sambhavat. Iti sushrumadiranam, yenastad vichakshire. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sambhutim cha vinasam cha yastad vedu vayam saha vinasena miritum tidva sambhutam ritam asnute. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hiranmayana patrena satyasya pihitam mukham Tattvam pusamapavrinu satyadharmaya drishtaye Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Pusaneka seyama surya prajapatya vyuharasmi samahatejo Yatte rupam kayanatamam tate pasyami yo savaso purushaha sohamasmi Te rupam kayanatamam tate pasyami yo savaso purushaha sohamasmi Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vayuranilam amritam basmantam atidam basmantam saridam atidam Om Kratosmara Kritam Smara Kratosmara Kritam Smara Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Agnenaya Supataraye Sman Vishwani Deva Vayunavni Vidvan Yodajma Chuhuranamino Bhuyistam Te Nama Uktim Vedema Om Tat Sat Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vasishyate Isopanisad ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So today, you ask the questions. So, we will start with the most enthusiastic person here, Kritika Devi Dasi. Go ahead.
What is the meaning of Prakriti and what are the two different types of Prakriti?
What is the meaning of Prakriti and what are the two types of Prakriti?
So, Prakriti means nature, material nature, and two types of Prakriti are Para and Apara.
What does Para mean?
Para means spiritual, and Apara means the inferior energy.
Yeah, so Para means the superior spiritual energy, and Apara means the inferior spiritual energy, but they're both spiritual. So when we say they're both spiritual, what does that mean?
Because they are emanating from Krishna.
More than that. What does that mean? That's true, it all comes from Krishna. What does it mean though? Okay, Kritika.
He's the controller of everything that exists.
That's true also, but that's not the answer. What do you mean by spiritual? What is spiritual? What is a property of spiritual? Exactly right. It's eternal. So, do you believe that the material energy is eternal?
Yes.
How can you explain it? Because sometimes it disappears.
Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that never there was a time when I did not exist.
That refers to the soul. It doesn't refer to the material energy.
Says that everything emanates. Aham sarvasya Prabhu, matam sarvasya Prabhu, Ikilam bhajani.
Bhumi upon
Okay, let's explain a little bit more about the material energy. What happens when it disappears? Does it stop to exist?
Basically, it changes between the manifested and unmanifested.
Right. When it's unmanifest, does it exist? I'll give you an example. The Twin Towers are unmanifest now. But do they still exist in a sense?
I mean, as material.
Yeah, the materials are still there, right? There's earth, there's water, fire, air, ether. They haven't disappeared, but it sort of merged back into the earth and the water, the fire, the air, and the ether, right? So the material energy is eternal, but it goes through two stages: manifest and unmanifest, vyakta and avyakta. So when it becomes unmanifest, it confuses people. They think it doesn't exist anymore, but it's still there. But it's in an unmanifest form. Okay, so now who's next? Let's see. Prabhu, you want to ask a question based on this purport? Mantra 2. Mantra 1 says, everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So in other words, we learned that whenever you say the word spiritual, it means eternal, right? Okay.
Why is Vedic knowledge infallible?
It's not turned on. You have to push the button, have the green light comes on.
Why is Vedic knowledge infallible?
Okay, call on somebody. Go on. You have a hand up behind you here.
Because the Vedic knowledge comes directly from the Lord Himself through disciplic succession to us.
Well, why would it be infallible? What's special about the Lord that's not special about other people?
Because infallible means it cannot make mistakes.
Yeah, but why? Yeah, he's not subject to the modes of material energy or to time or any. And does he have the same defects as human beings? No, he doesn't have anything.
Because it's Apurusheya. So it's not by any mundane person.
Right. But see, when you say it's Apurusheya, let's look this word up. Tautology, Tautology. It's just a circular argument. It does. You're just repeating something in a different way. But when you say he doesn't have the 4 defects, he's not subject to the laws of material nature, to karma, to the modes of material nature, influence of the modes of material nature is transcendental. That explains why. Look it up, tautology, Tautology. Okay, good. Let's see, who's next? One of the ladies, any of the ladies want to ask a question? I guess it's Pooja.
What does Purnam means?
What does what?
Purnam.
Purnam, okay. Yes. All right. Let's see. Sanjay Prabhu, you... What? Come on, this is not possible. Come on. Look there and ask a question. Come on. What does tautology mean? Did you look it up?
Redundant.
Redundant, right? So if you say that what's different of the Lord than other living entities? Because it's spoken. It's not when you say that the Vedas are not spoken by ordinary people. It's spoken by the Lord. What is it about the Lord that makes him different than when it's spoken by him? So your answer was Purusheya. It's not spoken by...
No. The Vedas are of Purusheya, so they are not subject to mundane. But I got it.
Wait a minute. Purusheya means it's not spoken by an ordinary person.
Right.
Right?
The Vedas are not spoken by an ordinary person. I think
All right, but that doesn't, see, that's a tautology, if I think it is, it doesn't, it's just redundant, it doesn't really explain, right? It's a technical word, it's used in philosophy, okay. But when you explain that he's not subject to modes of material nature or time, he doesn't have a material body, he has a spiritual body, he never forgets who he is, and he's not subject to the 4 defects. That explains why whatever he says is different than whatever we say. Right. Okay, now who are you going to call on? Let's see. Wait a minute. Who asked the question? Nobody. Okay, you. Oh yeah, Prabhu, go ahead.
Haribol. In the mantra 1, it is written that for one person the quota is kept aside, basically.
Yes.
So how we figure out what is the quota for us?
No, wait a minute. You didn't ask the question correctly. How do we figure out what is the quota for us? No. How does an individual figure out what is the quota for him or herself? Right. Because you're not going to have a group of people deciding for each one. So how does an individual decide? That's a good question. Any guesses? Anybody want to raise their hand? What?
What is required to keep the life? You use the minimum what's required to maintain your body.
Yes, and soul together. So,
Except more you don't.
what's your minimum? I mean, do you need the washing machine? Do you need the dishwasher? Do you need the stove?
Really, I don't need anything. Life should be simple. Everything else we used to do it like before. When I was very
But that was before. This is now. Yeah, well, since you have a family, you have to take care of your husband and kids, you need more things, right? But even those things you can keep to a minimum, right? I mean, you have a washing machine that works, so we say if it's not broken, you don't have to fix it, right? And you don't have to replace it. But some people say, oh, my neighbor got a new one, I should get a new one also, So that becomes a race of emulation, you don't want to do that. You should be satisfied with what you have. Okay. So, next question. This is Sanskriti. Haribol.
What is the significance of Yajurveda?
What is the significance of Yajurveda? What does the Yajurveda, let's say, specifically address amongst other things? Yeah. Anybody? Yes. Yes. And what mantra in this Isopanisad addresses that? Well, yeah, the first mantra says that one should accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota. But that doesn't really answer the question. Okay, go ahead. Well, that's Pumirapo Nalo Vayu Kamano Buddhirevacha. And then the second one is Apariyamitastvanyam Pakriti Vidime. No, that doesn't address it. Bhoktaram Yagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So Krishna is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, which means he's the proprietor of everything. He's the Maheshwara, you know, he's Sarvaloka. He owns everything. Everything belongs to the Lord. Nothing belongs to us. Okay, including our own body. It also belongs to the Lord. But, okay, so that was a good question. Yes. Next.
What is the root of the sin or root cause of the sin?
Yes. What is the root cause of sin? Very good question. Who's going to answer that? Who wants to answer that? Who said you want to answer that back there? Yes. Go ahead. Oh, your child raised her hand. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Krishna. This is not the real Krishna. The real Krishna is up here. This is Krishna Das here.
The deliberate disobedience of the nature of the law through the disobedience of the disregarding the Supreme Lord.
Disregarding the proprietorship of the Lord. So the root of all sin is deliberate disobedience of the laws of nature through disregarding the proprietorship of the Lord, right? Good. What does that mean in other language, more simple language? What does that mean? Can someone summarize that in simple language?
It's basically not downtraining our activity, just doing our own purpose.
Well, that's a further explanation. But what do those words exactly mean?
Using the material, actually, Krishna is the proprietor of everything.
Yes.
And we have to use that nature in his service. We are using for ourselves.
Yeah, we have to learn from Krishna
how to use
how we should use it. Just like if you borrow, if you go to Enterprise and you want to rent a car, right? So do they explain things to you how you can use it? You can't drive it off a cliff, right? And then, you have to get insurance, and then they expect you to follow all the rules of driving, and you can't use it for, transporting illegal merchandise across state line or, federal lines or, So there are ways, you have to use it according to the law, right? So, because it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to Enterprise, or it belongs to Avis or Hertz or whatever. And then when you rent a house, you also have to follow rules, right? So this body and everything, material creation, belongs to Krishna. So we have to learn from Krishna how to use it properly. And sin, you commit sins when you disregard Krishna's proprietorship and you use it as things according to your own whims, for our own self-indulgence. We don't offer anything to Krishna. So then we're like a thief. Just like, let's see, what's the color of your car outside, sir? Gari. White. All right. What model car you have? Huh? What? Oh, Maruti. You have them in India or here? Oh, yeah. You don't have one here. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's say you had your Maruti here, and tonight when you go outside, you look around. It's not there. What would you do? You call the police, right? And would you be upset? Yeah, somebody stole your car, right? So how do you think Krishna feels when we use things that belong to him without, recognizing his ownership? He feels like you. He's angry. He said, what is this nonsense? You know, he took my tree. He took my brick. He took my diamonds, and he's using it for himself. You see. So the same way you would feel angry if someone took your property and denied you the right to enjoy it, you would feel angry. And that's called a sin. Now you call the police and they arrest that person for committing a crime. So if we don't use things in the service of Krishna, we're criminals. Now what happens to criminals? They get punished. That's why there are the laws of karma. It's to punish the criminals who don't use things properly in Krishna's service. They use things selfishly, so they get punished. Now, what is the punish? Old age, disease, death, financial problems, becoming ugly, family problems, war, earthquakes, tsunamis. These are all reactions to thievery. We're stealing what belongs to Krishna and using it selfishly and not in His service. So now you know why people suffer. They don't suffer because it's an accident. They suffer because they've committed deliberate disobedience by ignoring the proprietorship of the Lord. Deliberate. Now, you say, well, what does a little kid know? Well, Sanskriti knows that the root of sin is deliberate disobedience to the laws of nature through ignoring the proprietorship of the Lord. You know that, Sanskriti? What does it mean? Yeah, so therefore, what should we do if He owns everything?
We should use it for Him.
Yeah, we should learn how to use it correctly in Krishna's service.
Because everything comes from Him, so everything can be used for Him.
Right. See, even a child can understand, right? This is not rocket engineering here. This is not rocket science, right? Even a child. But why doesn't Obama, Mr. Hussein, understand? Why doesn't all these big guys? Why they don't understand? Because they're less intelligent than children. They're like animals. That's why. Therefore, the world is in a mess. All right. Anybody else have a question from this chapter? Yes, Prabhu.
So in Mantra 1, Prabhupada explains about a peace formula for communists and nationalists.
Yes.
So what is the communists and nationalists, they are fighting with each other for domination over the resources. And Prabhupada gives a peace formula. So what is that peace formula?
Good question. Anybody? Yes? No, let her mom answer. Let her mom get it wrong, then she can correct her. Let her get it wrong first, then she can answer. Go ahead. Go ahead, answer. You answered. I didn't say you're going to get it wrong.
So basically the peace formula is that we should not, since Lord is the proprietor of everything, so the peace formula is we should think that everything belongs to Lord, and we should not try to take what does not belong to us, and also we should follow Isopanisad and Vedic wisdom, and should not quarrel over the material possession. Rather, we should try to get the eternal, the Satchit Anand Lord's mercy.
Okay, that's good. You want to add anything, Sanskrit?
And chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
What?
Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer the question. But it's good to do. It's good to do. Yeah. Well, let's read it exactly. What you want to read the exact answer? Or?
Yeah. One must be satisfied with whatever privileges are given to him by the mercy of the Lord. Therefore, there can be no peace if the communists or capitalists or any other party claims proprietorship over the resources of nature, which are entirely the property of the Lord. The capitalists cannot curb the communists simply by political maneuvering, nor can the communists defeat the capitalists simply.
That's pronounced maneuvering. Manuring is, you put manure on the ground.
Maneuvering.
Maneuvering.
Yeah. Nor can the communists defeat the capitalists simply by fighting for stolen bread. If they do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the property they claim to be their own is stolen. Consequently, they will be liable to punishment by the laws of nature. Nuclear bombs are in the hands of both communists and capitalists. And if both do not recognize the proprietorship of the Supreme Lord, it is certain that these bombs will ultimately ruin both parties. Thus, in order to save themselves and bring peace to the world, both parties must follow the instructions of Sri Isopanisad.
Hari Bol, very good. Very profound point. Any other questions?
I have one more question, Prabhu.
Yes. One.
What brings the ruin of a human being? Sanjay Prabhu.
Everyone's picking on Sanjay here.
I never raised my hand.
Yeah, no, you were scratching your ear.
Yeah. If we don't follow the instructions, basically from the Lord, whatever He has taught us through Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literature, and we try to do please our own senses, then it will build the time it will build karma, and we will be in bad shape, basically.
Yes. It says here, if
Disobeying the laws of nature or the order of the Lord brings ruin to a human being.
right, disobeying the so. Yasastra siddhim uchridja vartate kamakarata nasa siddhim avapnukti nasukam na param gatim. Very important verse. Let's look at that. Verse 14th chapter Bhagavad Gita. No, 16th chapter Bhagavad Gita, sorry. And it says, he who discards scripture, the 16th chapter, 23rd verse. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. In other words, you ruin your life. First of all, it's very risky life to neglect the instructions of the Vedic literature. Then one's life becomes risky, and then disobeying the laws of nature or the order of the Lord brings ruin to a human being. So this verse 1623 says, if he who discards or he who gives up scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. In other words, they don't leave the material world, they stay in the cycle of birth and death. Okay, any other questions? Yes.
Prabhupada mentions in the purport that one should not be too proud of being a vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Why does he say what it is?
Why does it say that? Okay. Let's see. Anybody want to?
One should not be too proud of being a vegetarian. Why?
Okay, Krishna, let's hear what you have to say.
Like animals, vegetables also have life. So when we have to use in the service of Krishna. First we have to offer it to Krishna, then we have to eat. Otherwise we incur sin.
Yeah. Okay, you want to add something?
Yes. Prabhupada says that it is not sufficient to be just a vegetarian. We should be both a vegetarian as well as a devotee of the Lord, because Lord Krishna says that He will accept any vegetarian food that is offered to Him with love and devotion from His devotee.
So we're not really vegetarians. If Krishna said, offer me steak, we would offer it to him, right? So we're not vegetarians, we're prasad-arians.
Haribol!
We offer the Lord what He likes, what He prefers. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta prachati tadaham bhakti aparatam asnami pratatmanaha. So he says a leaf, water, fruit, flower, but he's actually looking for the devotion with which we offer it. Let's say there was a famine, there was nothing to eat, and you catch some poor rabbit. Can you eat the rabbit?
Yes.
Yeah, you can, because there's nothing else to eat, but that's not the case today, so don't catch any rabbits. Yeah.
Whatever you do, whatever you offer me to serve as service, and
whatever you eat, whatever austerities you perform.
Offer it to me.
Yeah. Well, what if my austerity is smoking marijuana? Can I offer that? No. You can't offer everything. Only those things Krishna wants, right? Yeah, so it says that yeah. One second, I just want to find something here. All right, any other questions anyone has?
We did not get through one more thing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Praveen.
How does Lord recognizes sober person?
How does He recognize?
Yeah, and gets him back to back home, back to Godhead.
Okay. So anyone want to answer? Yes.
So we have to establish the broken relationship with Krishna and the same service what we're doing. So basically we have to become Krishna conscious, and that's how we can go back to God.
So doing service.
Yes. The Lord recognizes the devotee who is sincerely following the rules and regulations of Krishna consciousness and offers with love and devotion. You have another answer?
It's the Prabhupada wrote here, Prabhu.
Huh?
One who is sober, who knows the laws of nature, and who is not influenced by unnecessary attachment or aversion is sure to be recognized by the Lord, and thus become eligible to go back to Godhead, back to eternal home.
Yeah, very good. Which page is that?
Last paragraph.
Last paragraph, yeah.
Last few sentences.
Right. Okay, so if we look at third chapter, 34th verse, let's see what that says.
Third chapter?
34th verse of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, third chapter, 30th verse. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy or laziness, fight. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties as if in military discipline. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, because that is the constitutional position of the living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjuna was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were his military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord, and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord. He had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetas. Nirasi means that one has to act on the order of the Master but should not expect fruitive results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purport of Mai, or unto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called nirmama, or nothing is mine. And if there's any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become vigata jwara, or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation. Right? So, when it says, one who knows the laws of nature and who is not influenced by unnecessary attachment or aversion is sure to be recognized by the Lord and thus become eligible to go back to Godhead, back to the eternal home. So then if you look on 3rd chapter, 34th verse, it says, there are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion, because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. So what did it say here? It says here that one who is sober, who knows the laws of nature, and who is not influenced by unnecessary attachment or aversion. So what does that mean, attachment and aversion?
You neither please nor displeased with anything.
Neither friends nor enemies.
Yeah, you're not attached to something, and you don't hate something. Yeah. Right. So, well, Ravana was attached to Sita, falsely attached, right? So that was his downfall.
Shuknaka was a falsely attached to Ram, so that was her downfall.
Right. But then Surpanaka hated Sita. That was her downfall also. Yeah. So you can't have attachment or aversion. In other words, it's like, I love you, I hate you, right? It's attachment, it's aversion. Aversion means hatred, right? So sometimes, people say, I love you so much. And then there's some arguments, I hate you. You see? So these two things, one has to be free of them. So you say, well, wait a minute, what's the whole thing about marriage and there's no love? No, it's not real love, it's lust. But one should be married with a sense of duty to protect the wife or children or husband and cooperate to go back to Godhead. That's the purpose of marriage. It's to cooperate with each other to go back to Godhead. If you talk about love in the material world is lust. There's no real love. Love is meant for Krishna. So when you love Krishna, then you love other people because you love them because of their connection to Krishna, not because of their body or whatever, their money or whatever. So this is a hard point to understand for a lot of people. They think, what Harivilas is saying or what Prabhupada is saying, it's against the family. No, it's not against the family. It's against the false premise of the family. Right. The false premise of the family is I love you means I love you when you, serve my lust, then I love you. But if you don't serve my lust, then I hate you. So that's not a marriage. Marriage is based on duty. Right? Just how a mother has a duty to protect her child, right? If she's a real mother. It doesn't matter whether the child says, "I hate you, Mommy." It doesn't matter. They have a duty. They just ignore that. Like one time I remember I was in India with one of my sons, and he got like sunstroke. He went crazy. You know what sunstroke is? You get too much sun and your body heats up, you go crazy. And he was saying all kinds of crazy things. But I just ignored it. I realized something happened to him. So I had to take him out of the sun and give him some water and hold him, and he finally came to his senses again. And then I remember my wife, right after she had her first baby, she had what's called postpartum depression. You know what that is? You know what that is, right? So, after your first child sometime, and you go through depression, or women go through depression because it was like a horrendous experience, right? 9-10 months of suffering, and then the childbirth, and now they have to take care of the child, and they're just thinking, oh my God, the next, 5 to 10 years I have to change the diapers and do this and do that, so they get depressed. It's a physical and a mental thing. It's not just mental, it's physical also. And I thought my wife was going crazy, but then I realized it was just some passing thing because of the childbirth. And then also women go through their monthly periods, and they go a little crazy, right? But it's a physical thing. It's not. They don't really mean it. It's physical. So in this world, there's love and hate, or love, attachment, and aversion. These are all Maya, and we should not be affected by it. We should act as a matter of duty. Just like if someone's drowning and you go out into the river, you swim out to them and say, "I'm going to help you," but they're so panicked, they're trying to hit you. They're panicked. They don't know what's happening. So you have to somehow or other ignore that and grab them physically, and bring them back, save their life, even though they're trying to hit you and fight you, because they're panicked. Or let's say there's a fire, right? And you run into the fire to try and save someone, and they say, "Oh, but my mother is upstairs." And upstairs is completely flames. She's trying to run upstairs. You grab her, you take her out, even though she's fighting you, because there's no way you're going to go upstairs, right? Maybe the firemen can go upstairs, but she can't go. She'll die if she goes upstairs. So but she's fighting you. So these things happen, So you have to. If you act out of duty, you can do the right thing. But if you get emotional, then it becomes "I love you, I hate you," attachment and aversion, and the whole thing is a mess.
Prabhuji also says that if you have reluctance should be thrown out. Consideration of so-called kinsman in the bodily relationship. That reluctance should be thrown out. It may become vigata jvara. What's that?
May become what?
Vigata jvara, or feverish mentality.
No, it means like Arjuna. He was in a feverish mentality. He couldn't fight. He couldn't do anything. He threw his bow and arrow down because he didn't see how he was going to be personally happy. But Krishna said, this is the wrong consideration. You should act out of duty. I'm ordering you to do it. I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can't say no to me. You can say no, but then that's sinful. You do your duty. You're trained to be a Kshatriya. It doesn't matter your family is on this side or on that side. You have to do your duty. So just like in marriage, there might be some emotional problems, but you have to do your duty. You got married. No one forced you to get married. You have children. No one forced you to have children. Now you have to do your duty. You have to protect the children. Husband has to protect the wife. Wife has to help the husband do all the things that they need to do to raise the family. If you get married for sense gratification, as soon as there's a problem with sense gratification, there's a divorce. That's why there's so much divorce today, because people get married for sense gratification. But that's not the, no, you should get married as a, you know, and once you're married, you should act out of duty. Just like mother has a duty to change the diaper of the kid and feed the kid and put the kid to bed and bathe the kid. If she doesn't do that, then someone will report her to social services. The kid is coming every day to school hungry, with dirty clothes and dirty hair. So they report you to social service, and social service calls you up. Say, an inspector is coming to your house to see what's going wrong in your house. And if they see that you're not responsible, they take your kid away from you. It's, even though it's your kid, they'll take them away because you're not bathing them properly, you're not feeding them properly, you know, maybe you're spanking them and they have scars on their face or whatever. They'll take the kid away from you. I've seen this happen many times, you know. So you have to act out of duty. Okay, so, yeah.
I have a question, Prabhu. So like right now, children have to also obey the rules of the parents, right?
Yeah.
And so how do we know that the parents are always following the orders of the Lord? Because sometimes there are, I mean,
If you know what the orders of the Lord are, then you'll know if they're following or not. Right?
How do you handle if they are not Krishna conscious or they force you away from Krishna?
Who can force you away from Krishna consciousness? You tell me. No one can force you away from Krishna consciousness. That's another Maya concept in the mind. No one can force you away. They can try, but they will not succeed. Did the devil force Jesus away from allegiance to God? No. He was tempted for 40 days in the desert, and he fasted and he resisted the temptation. Was Ravana able to convince Sita to give up her allegiance to Ram? No. So you can't force someone to leave Krishna consciousness unless they have that tendency. But if they have drita vrat, a strong determination, no one can force you to leave Krishna consciousness. That, yeah.
But didn't we all show that we are easily, you know, we can go in another direction? That's the reason why we're hearing the.
Not if you keep coming to the class and you follow the rules and regulations. No, you'll develop strong determination. Nista, right? First there's Shraddha, then there's Sadhu Sangha, then there's Bhajana Kriya, then there's Anartha Nivritti, and then there's Nista, strong determination of faith. So if you go through those steps, you will not be shaken. No one can take you away. No one can shake your faith in Krishna. If you're regularly, morning and evening, you're chanting your rounds, you're hearing, you're chanting, you come to the class, discuss, learn Isopanisad. No one will be able to shake you. You know, Prabhupada was married, had so many issues he had to deal with, but he was fixed. Prabhupada's sister was married to a fish eater. Still, she was fixed in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so we'll stop there and continue tomorrow. I have a whole bunch of other questions and points, so I'll ask them tomorrow.
From the same book?
Yes. You missed half of them.
I have one last one.
Yes, go ahead.
So, what enables the one to discharge his duty properly for the Lord?
What's that? Say it again.
What enables for the one? What enables for the one to discharge his duty properly for the Lord?
What enables a devotee to discharge his duty properly for the Lord? Good question. What enables? Well, first of all, he has to recognize that the Lord is the proprietor, right? Then he has to understand how the laws of nature are working, right? If you take something that doesn't belong to you and you use it for a selfish reason, you're going to get punished. So everything belongs to the Lord, therefore we should use everything in the Lord's service without any expectation of anything, knowing well that the Lord will provide your minimum needs. Right? So that's one answer. I'm sure there's some others, but that's one. You want to read?
Yes. Page 22. A human being is therefore required to recognize the authority of the Supreme Lord and become his devotee. So, number one, to recognize the authority of the Supreme Lord. Number two, surrender and become the devotee of the Lord. And number three, he must offer everything for the Lord's service and partake only of the remnants of food offered to the Lord. This will enable him to discharge his duty properly.
There you go. Prasad. Yes, that's why we have prasad every day here for everyone. Yeah. You recognize the Lord as the supreme proprietor, supreme personality Godhead, supreme authority, become his devotee, offer everything for the service of the Lord, and partake only of the remnants of food offered to the Lord. Why? Because if you eat things that are not offered to the Lord, that's sin. Right? Yajna sisastina santak muchante sarvakilbasai bujate tetvagam papam ye pachanti atmakaranat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment rarely eat only sin. Yeah, I noted down 18 questions, 19 questions. No, I mean, you asked a lot of good questions. I think you asked like maybe close to what, 9 or 10 questions.
I got 12 questions in mind.
Okay. All right, we have to stop quickly. Go ahead.
So why Lord is not subjected to laws of material nature, which he controls?
Why is he not subjected? Okay.
Sanjay Prabhu.
Everyone's picking on you, Prabhu.
The way like the President Obama comes, everybody starts. They keep a way to him, right? So basically, to maintain the, like his to maintain the law and order. So he's creating.
So what was the question again? Why the?
Why there is no possibility of Lord being subjected to the material nature?
Being what?
Not subjected to the laws of material nature.
Okay.
We can answer tomorrow.
Well, no, we can answer that now. The Lord is not subject to the laws of material nature because he doesn't have a material body. He has a pure spiritual body. It's transcendental. His body is Satchitananda. He never forgets himself. He is not attracted to enjoying anything in the material nature. He's not attached to anything. He is aloof from everything. So therefore when it says Mayatatam vidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matstani sarvabhutanim natesu avastita, so that matesu avastita, he doesn't even touch the material energy. So he cannot be influenced by it. He never comes in contact with it. And he's self-sufficient, right? In avidya, he has full knowledge, and he is swarat. He's independent. He's not influenced by the modes of material nature. So these are all reasons why, when it says nachaham te suvastita, it says, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. Nachamatstani bhutani pasyame yogam aiswaram. Bhuta brimnacha bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavanam. So this is 9th chapter, 4th and 5th verse. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. So, because he has no contact with the material nature, he says he does not touch this material manifestation. Simply by his supreme will, everything is created, everything is sustained, everything is maintained, and everything is annihilated. There's no difference between his mind and himself, as there is a difference between ourselves and our present material mind. So, because our soul is covered by a material body, as long as we identify with this body, we get affected by the laws of material nature, by the three modes of material nature. So, there's an example. There was once a frog and a fish that became friends. And one day the frog said to the fish, "Oh, I love you so much. Every night when I go into the reeds and you go deeper into the water, I feel great separation from you." So the fish said, "Well, what do you want us to do?" He said, "Let's tie each other together. I'll tie my leg to your fin, and we'll be together." And the fish said, "Oh, okay, great idea." So somehow or other they got some string, and they tied each other together. So now they were always together, right? So one day, a bird of prey came, a red-tailed hawk. And, they can see from miles away food. Their eyes are very sharp. So he swooped in very slowly, and quietly, and he went for the kill. So then the fish realized, oh, my enemy is coming, So the fish started to dart into the water, and the frog got scared and started to dart into the reeds and the leaves, right? So because they were going in opposite directions, they didn't go anywhere, and the hawk caught the fish and got the frog also, and they both died. Insane. So let's say that the body is the fish, and the soul is the frog, or vice versa. You get attached to the body. Whatever happens, the body is under the control of the modes of material nature. Your soul is not. But when you become attached to something, it's under the control of laws of material nature, then you get affected by it. So Krishna does not have a material body like us, so therefore he's not subject to the laws of material nature. And what your question was, why is the Lord
not subjected to the laws of material nature?
There you are. And he doesn't have a material body.
Prabhu, over here it right, since the Lord is Purna, all perfect, there is no possibility of his being subjected to the laws of material nature, which he controls.
Yeah, okay. But this is a little more detailed explanation, right? Okay, very good. Haribol. We'll continue tomorrow. Glories to